Hey everyone, so I accidentally forgot to hit record for this matchup, so let's go ahead and go uh, through the replays here. So I was against Blue Red Murktide. Game one, so there's this interesting situation. I actually remarked about it while I was playing that I could play around Spell Pierce by not playing a bounce land before the amulet, but I decided not to because I wouldn't be able to Titan if I did that. And I did end up getting punished because they did have the Spell Pierce, but I think it left me in a good position because they were still stuck on mana. I had the Cavern for Dryad, so I'm able to Dryad here and then be able to make a construct end of their turn. So I do some sequencing here where I play the Summoner's Pact in response to the Saga trigger. The reasoning for this being that I want to see if the Summoner's Pact resolves before I decide what to do with my Saga trigger. I also don't block the Ragavan here because I want to keep them off of Delirium. So they counter here, and so I just decide to make a Saga token and then get map. I go ahead and attack before cracking the map so that the construct is maximum size. This does let them get Delirium, but like they were going to get it eventually. I just, if I was going to Titan the previous turn, I didn't want to let them do that. So I put out another Urza Saga, figuring I'm just going to, get them with a sort of fair Saga plan. They make a big Murktide. I make some Saga tokens and pass. They pass. I make more Saga tokens. So game one, the Murktide deck has a lot of trouble dealing with Urza Saga. Once it gets dressed down out of the board, it's much less of an issue. But yeah, I just drew a Titan. So I was probably in good position if I didn't draw the Titan, but after drawing the Titan, it's pretty trivial to win from here. So, yep, that is our game one. I believe they concede the moment they see the Titan. Yeah. Game two. So for the sideboarding, I cut 4 Explorers, both Colossus, Map, Saga, Castle, Vestige. I bring in, so I cut a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cards. I bring in 3 Endurance, 3 Dismember, 2 Unlicensed Hearse, a Beseju, a Cavern, and a Bajuka Bog. So I get a nice opening hand that's got a really solid mid-range plan. I decide to Grazer rather than Dismember the Ragavan. I was thinking I wanted to leave the Dismember for a Ledger Shredder. I make a small misplay here in that I let them get a Connive before dismembering, but I think it actually ends up working for me because they discard a non-creature spell, which they might not otherwise have done, like, to the Ledger Shredder, so who knows. Maybe I ended up, like, making a smart play accidentally. But the Hearse does a pretty good job of just sort of keeping their graveyard down, so that they're not really able to do much of anything, while I just sort of sit back, make land drops, and get in with the Endurance. I expected an Unholy Heat on the Endurance there, but there wasn't one, which surprised me. I should have Hearsed at end of turn there, but I forgot to put a stop on my end step, so potentially opened up a space for my opponent to resolve like a baby Murktide. I play the Cavern because even though it telegraphs what I'm planning to do, I want to hold the Boseiju for a potential Blood Moon. Once again, I'm not playing optimally with this Hearse. It's not a card I've played before, and I'm just sort of learning with the sequencing. My opponent dress downs. I learned a very important lesson about the interaction between Unlicensed Hearse and dress down. So, yeah, turns out. And then I float mana so that if my opponent has another dress down when I cast this Titan, that I can Boseiju it, which is actually exactly what ends up happening. And then my opponent concedes. So, tried to punt away this game on multiple occasions, but the deck was too strong. Turns out when you put 11 sideboard cards for the Murktide matchup, you're going to do pretty well. All right, see everyone for the next round.